Hello, I'm Sharon Wolf. I'm here with the CPRE Knowledge Hub. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Pennsylvania's Graduate School of Education, and I'm here with Wayne Lewis from Governor Bevin's office. Wayne, can you tell us what your role is in the governor's office?
Sure. So I serve as Executive Director of Education Policy and Programs in the Kentucky Education and Workforce Development Cabinet.
And from 2015 to 2017, the NGA Center provided technical assistant grants to support governors from their staff in strengthening and implementing policies to improve access and quality of early education in their state. And your state applied and was awarded a subgrant to focus on a specific early care and education policy priority. So can you tell us what that priority was and why your state applied for this NGA Center grant?
So we've used NGA support, financial support, and technical assistance to support the development and rollout of summits that we've used, toolkits and summits for superintendents in the area of early care. And so using those resources, we brought together superintendents, but also folks from their communities who work in early care and education. And so superintendents, child care directors, Head Start directors, community stakeholders, parents come together as teams and talk about ways that they can leverage resources and collaborate to improve the quality of early care in their communities.
And what were the most important factors that led to success with this grant?
I think we've had extraordinary leadership out of our Governor's Office of Early Childhood. Linda Hampton has come on as our director in this administration, has done a fantastic job. Leadership is key, not just in terms of leading the office, I believe, but in terms of working with people, right? A lot of the leverage that our leaders have and have been successful with is using relationships that they've developed over years and over time. And so Linda and her team have used those relationships to bring together stakeholders.
And you've alluded to the different ways that your state has been bringing together various stakeholders around early care and education. Can you describe some of the ways that systems around early care and education were connected through this grant specifically, whether it's through the summits or other things that your state has done?
Yeah, so I see this summit as a part of, or these summits as a part of the larger work that we're doing in early care and education in Kentucky. And a lot of that, I mean, honestly, is spurred on with the Race to the Top Early Learning Challenge grant that we have, right? And the biggest project as a part of that grant is a revised tier quality rating and improvement system called Kentucky All-Stars. It's a unified system that brings together child care, Head Start, public preschool. And so because we've started that conversation a while back now and bringing together all those entities is so key to making that grant work, we were already in the mindset of bringing together systems, collaborating, getting people on the same page so that we can improve the quality of early care and education, regardless of whether that's in a school setting or in a child care setting.
And can you elaborate on the importance of the governor's office being involved in this work?
You can't say enough about the role that the governor's office plays, I think, in any state and in Kentucky as well, from a leadership standpoint and also from the standpoint of setting direction and saying that something is important. I think the voice from the governor's office has the effect of bringing people together in ways that other offices just don't.
What is something that you have learned from this policy work that you feel your colleagues in other states would benefit from learning from?
I've learned so much about that community of professionals, the knowledge and expertise that they bring to bear that I believe can impact the way that we approach education across the P20 spectrum, right? One of the things I think is so critical is the importance of families and communities and collaboration. I think folks in the early child care space do that a whole lot better than we do in the K-12 space. And I think there's a lot of lessons we can learn and apply across the spectrum.
How has your state sustained success through this grant? And how do you plan to continue the work that you've done over the past few years?
So we're still in the midst of working through that. So right now we're still in implementation of the grant. The grant was initially supposed to end December 2017. We were granted a 1-year no-cost extension through December 2018. We're in the midst of a validation study for our tier quality rating and improvement system. And we also have a sustainability writer who's on board now, who's helping us to develop a plan to look at ways at how we can sustain not just the quality rating and improvement system, but some of the other novel things that we've done, like a Strengthening Families program, looking at the protective factors that are important for kids being successful. So we haven't completely figured out sustainability yet, or what life will look like past the grant, but we're very intentional about doing that work now and trying to figure that piece out.
And I know you have another role, also as a faculty at the University of Kentucky, and I'm wondering what advice you would give to researchers who want to influence education policy now that you have been spending this time in the governor's office.
I would say to spend some time developing relationships with policymakers, both in the administration in your state and with your legislatures. Sometimes as faculty members, I think some of the ways we think we can have influence on policy, some of those don't actually make their way to the policymaking space. I'll give you a perfect example. The only reason as a person working in the administration that I have access to many of the peer-reviewed journals that we publish in as faculty members, the only reason I have access is because I continue to be a faculty member, right? Nobody else in the administration or in the Legislative Research Commission has access to those things. And so as faculty members, if we're really serious about having in-time impact on policy decisions, I think we have to really seriously think about where we publish, how we disseminate our work, and even the way we disseminate our work, right? Is it written primarily for an audience of faculty members and researchers, or is it written first and foremost for policymakers and folks who are going to be making really important policy decisions?